Hello guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatsoever time you're watching this video. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, we'll be learning how to make this 6 pieces prudential top. So I'll go straight by drawing the basic bodice first. I'll go ahead and mark my basic line, which is the full length, the half length, the under bust, the bust point, and of course the armhole. I'm working with a bust span of 8, so I've also gone ahead to mark the bust span, which is 4 inches, 8 divided by 2. Okay, I would put the measurements that I use for this video in the description box so that we can go and check it. So yeah, basically I'm just imputing the measurements just to draw my basic bodice for the upper part. This is the front panel that the front part rather, that we are drafting. So I'm working with a shoulder of 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give us 8. So my shoulder is 8. I'm going to go ahead and mark the 8 inches like so. So after marking the 8 inches, my slope is just 1. I'll go ahead and mark the slope, and on the armhole line I'll go up by 3 inches, and on the part that I've marked I would go in by 0.5. that is my shoulder minus 0.5, which is 7.5. so I'll go ahead and measure my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. I'm working with the neck width of 4 inches, so I'll go ahead and mark all the points, and then I'll connect all the points together. As we can see, I'll connect my armhole point together, and I'll also connect the shoulder slope to the neck width, just like so. So after doing that, the next thing I want to do is to take my bust dart. My bust dart is the calculation for bust dart is half length, the front half length minus the back half length. My bust dart is 2.5, so I'll go ahead and mark 2.5, as you can see. Then I'll go ahead and do my contour. So I would do 0.5, that's on the dart leg. On the half length I'll do 0.75 on both sides and 0.5 on the full length on both sides. Then I'll connect it to the bust point, just like so, just like we are doing the basic bodies, the normal major basic bodies. So after doing that, I'll contour the under bust. I'll go from the dart leg, I'll go in by 0.5 on both sides, and then I'll connect to the under bust. I'll connect from the under bust to the full length, just like so. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and just connect. So after connecting it to the under bust, I'll go to the bust point, the bust line, and measure 1 inches downward. I'll come down by 1 inch rather. I'll come down by 1 inch on the bust points, because you don't want your bust to be pointy. So you come down by 1 inch, just like I'm doing. Then after coming down, you use the curved part of your ruler to connect it from your under bust. You connect it to the bust point. That's the 1 inch part that we came down. Can you see the part that we came down with 1 inch? That point, that 1 inch point, you connect it to the under bust, just like so. Can you see? Just because you don't want your bust part to be bulky. So the next thing you want to do is to draw the style line. I'll just be using a free hand. You can just use a free hand. You measure 2 inches from your armhole, and then you draw your style line from the 2 inches. The style line we are following is kind of is slightly up, like it was going, it came up from the armhole. So I'll just use my hand to do it, and after getting what I feel I like, I'll go ahead and then use a curved ruler to just draw it out, just to be sure that that is what I want. Okay, so once I have seen that that is what I want, I would go ahead and draw it with a marker so that we all can see it. So after drawing that part, you just measure your neck to where it's stopping and then you connect it like so. After connecting, you just measure your style line to make sure it's close to your over bust. Then on your shoulder line, you measure what you have on the shoulder and divide it by 2. What I have is 2, so you come up from the bust point by 0.75 or 1 inches or 1 inch, and then you connect it to the mid of your shoulder. Then on the style line, you go out by 0.75 on both sides, just to do the over bust tightening. On both sides you go out by 0.75 and then you connect like so. Can you see? On the style line, just make sure your style line is close to your over bust, at least 0.5 close to your style line. So the next thing you want to do is to go to your full length. You come out by 4 inches. That's to get the flay. Don't forget that our 6 pieces top has a flay. So you come out from your full length and then you connect the 4 inches to the half length. Then you curve it by 1 inch. You go to the edge, mark 1 inch, and then you curve it just like I'm doing. Can you see? Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is the shoulder and the sleeve. The shoulder and the sleeve is a cut together sleeve. So you extend your shoulder slope, you go out by 3 inches or 4. But I later used 4 inches because I noticed that 3 inches was kind of small for what I wanted. So I later extended it by 1 inch. So you go out by 3 inches, you come down by 1.5 on that spot, and then you curve it. Then you link it to the hammer. So when linking it to the hammer, there are different ways you can place your curve. It depends on the shape you want. So is it that you place it this way or the other way? So yeah, I later used 4 inches, and then on the 4 inches I came down by 1.5. Then I used my curve ruler just like so to curve it. Can you see? And then you link it to the armhole point, the point where your style line started from, just like this. Can you see? So that is that. So okay, so the next thing we want to do is to close the over bust dart. Can you see? Just like that. So we are going to go ahead. Yes, before we cut it out, we're reshaping it just so it can match each other when we cut it out. So after reshaping it, we are going to cut the bust dart open, just like I'm doing. We'll cut the bust dart open. You cut that part out. You carefully cut it. Okay, so after cutting it, you want to close your bust dart. Sorry, you want to close your bust dart. Okay, so to close your bust dart, you go down on the bust point, you cut it a bit, and you also cut the bust point open. Can you see? If you don't want to cut it, you can as well fold it, but then I prefer cutting my own. You just slit it to the bust point, and then you put it inside and close like this. I think this is quite easier than folding. Can you see? You go ahead and reconstruct the line, the side seam. Can you see? Just like so. So after reconstructing, you get your paper tape and tape it down, just like so. So after taping it down, you want to close your bust dart back so that we can do the yoke tightening too. if you look at it closely, you discover that the shoulder does not align to each other again. So we'll close it and redraw the shoulder line. Just watch as I'm doing. You will close it. After closing it, you will measure 0.5 on the neck. Just watch as I'm doing. 0.5 on the neckline. Yes, can you see? And then you now reconstruct 0.5 on the neckline. Then you now use your ruler and rejoin it to the shoulder. Can you see? So once we have this, we'll go ahead and cut the neck part out from the oval bust, from our style line. You cut it out just like so. You go ahead and cut the neck, and then our new line for the shoulder. Please don't forget you cut the new line. That's how to do the yoke tightening. Okay, so having done that, please do not forget to label your pattern. Please do not forget to label your pattern. It's so important. So we're going to go ahead and then label the pattern. Then you cut out, but before you cut out the remaining part, you get your curve ruler and make sure you curve it, not too much, but just curve it a bit, just to avoid any sharp end in your work. Can you see? And then you just cut it out. Then you get a separate paper for the flay of the part, or the down part. You get a separate paper, then you join it to the side, and then you come out by 4 inches. Don't forget that we use 4 inches on the other side, but if you want to use more than 4 inches, you can go ahead. So you come out by 4 inches, and then you connect it to the half length. You come up by 1 inch. Please don't forget to come up by 1 inch. Once you come up by 1 inch, and then you cut it out just like so. Can you see? You go ahead and do that for the center part too. Just like I said, if you want more than 4 inches, if you want your flay to be bigger than that, you can go ahead, but please do not add more than 6 inches, except you really want it to be so big. So you go out by 4 inches, you come up by 1 inch, and then you trim and cut just like I've done here. Can you see? So yes, this is what your pattern should look like after cutting. Can you see? Yeah. And we are done with the front part. Please do not forget to like, share, and comment on my post, just so others can see it. Thank you. So we are moving to the back. Just like we use the basic bodies for the front, we'll also be using the basic bodies for the back. Can you see? We'll measure the half length and then the full length. The half length I worked with is 16.5 and the full length 23. So we'll go ahead, 26 rather. We'll go ahead and just draw our basic bodies for the front. Okay, so on the half length, you come in by 0.5. It was not showing here. I didn't know that the camera didn't get to that side, but when I move the pattern close, you are going to see it. You come in by 0.5, just so your zipper part is not going to bulge. So when I move it closer, you are going to see. So I'll just go ahead just the same way I did for the front. You come up by 3 inches. Can you see? You measure your shoulder minus 0.5. Shoulder slope is 1 inch. The neck width is 4 inches. And then yes, you just go ahead with your basic bodies. This is just basic bodies that we are doing, and then you draw. Don't forget to add your dart allowance to the half length, and also 1 inch to the full length for the dart leg. Okay, so can you see? We'll go ahead, measure our nipple to nipple, and then the next thing is the style line. So just like we did for the front, you go ahead and draw the style line like so, and then you do the shoulder to the cut together sleeve. You extend your shoulder slope, come on by 4 inches, and then you come down by 1.5, and then you just curve it to the beginning of the style line on the hammer, just like so, just the same way we did for the front. And yes, we are done with the neck part. Then we'll go to the half length to do our dart leg. You draw a straight line, can you see? And then on the half length you go 0.75 on both sides and 0.5 on both sides of the full length. That's for the dart leg. And then on the style line you do 0.25 on both sides. Can you see? That's just to make it tight. Yes, on that part. So also you come out by 4 inches, just like we did for the side of the front. You come out by 4 inches, then you go up by 1 inch, and then you curve it. That's for the flay part, can you see? And yes, we are done with the cutting of the back. Okay, so yes, the neck part, sorry, the neck depth for the back is just 1 inch. Yes, just 1 inch. And please note that I did not cut my pattern with sewing allowance, so I would add the sewing allowance when I'm cutting it out on the fabric. So you can choose to add yours depending on what you want. Can you see the zipper part that I explained earlier on? So yes, you go ahead and just cut. So after cutting you get a separate paper, just like we did for the front. You attach it, and then you come out by 4 on the full length, 4 inches on the full length. You connect it to the waistline, you come up by 1, and then you curve it just like we did for the front. Can you see? Just the same way we did for the front. That's what we are doing at the back. And yes, after doing that we'll do for the center back too. Yes, just the same way, 4 inches, but just like I said, you can use more than 4 inches depending on how big you want the flay to be, but please don't use more than 6 inches. 6 inches is quite a lot. And don't forget to label your pattern. Can you see? So this is what yours should look like. And don't forget to merge your seam, the front seam and the side seam together, just to be sure that they are equal on both sides. So this is the final look of mine. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.